during World War II. I was a little girl, and um, we had to have all the lights out when they had an air raid coming, air warning. They had
Right.
sirens that alerted everybody in Enid, and you had to turn all your lights out. And if you was in a car, you were supposed to turn your lights off and take cover. And I was young enough, and I was scared to pieces that when that happened, when they'd sound those sirens, when they thought there might be something going on back in the United States. And we had to not hide, but we had to just make sure in that dark time that we didn't have lights on, because that would light up the city and they'd know where to go to bomb it. And I was scared because I didn't understand about all that stuff. And the horns, when they sound those horns, I'd immediately just scream, and I got so scared because I didn't know but what the Japs were coming after us. We called them the Japs, the Japanese. And oh boy.
How many times did they test that? Just several times a year, or?
I think they tested it, yeah, pretty often. They had to have practices and all that, and so it wasn't real big a long time. I spread over probably a year or two when they thought that the United States was really in jeopardy, and luckily they never did attack America, really. And
what was it like when
but they did the Pearl Harbor deal. That's where they started it, was at Pearl Harbor in Hawaii.
What was it like when the war ended for you guys? Was that a big celebration?
Oh, yes.
Everybody, were you at school? You guys were in school, I guess?
I don't remember what time of year it was.
I don't remember.
You don't either?
I just remember it was a big deal, of course.
Anyway, when we bought our house over on Winona Street here in Enid and moved there, the living room draperies were floral, like a cotton fabric with flowers all over them.
That is ugly as sin, too.
And you draw those drapes shut, and it would be pitch dark in the living room on a bright sunny day. And we investigated, and they had this blackout fabric in between the lining and the front that made it dark. It wouldn't let any light through. And I still have some pieces of the fabric out of those drapes out in the porch storage, and don't know what I'd ever use them for. But they are blackout liners for your windows.
Good for telling stories.
Mm-hmm. And I'd run and hide when I'd hear the air raid warnings go off. I was scared to pieces that here come the enemy, and I'd hide someplace in the house and get under a bed or whatever I could do. It was a scary time for a little girl.
Did they make you practice stuff like that at your schools?
I don't recall that.
I don't think so either.
They may have, I don't know.
Yeah, they may have.